Hi everyone, it's JG here with Earth 5D Ascension School, back for another teaching where you are the light, the path, and the way forward, friends. How's it going? Thanks for being here on my channel. Today we're going to be exploring the archetype of the father, and it's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there, or those who identify as a father. I'm certain that not everyone who identifies as a father is a biological one. So thank you for all your efforts to create healthy masculine energy on this earth. We know that that hasn't always been our go-to, that there's been a lot of distortion in what it means to be a healthy masculine, just as much as there's been a distortion of what it means to be a healthy feminine and what it means to kind of evolve these energies. But because it's Father's Day, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the father energy and the archetype of the father. So Joseph Campbell has done a lot of work on discussing what archetypes are. Carl Jung has done a great deal of work helping us understand what these primal archetypes are on earth, and it sort of models and frameworks for our behavior and how society is structured, and what it means to play out in our own individual consciousness. So when we focus on and look at the masculine, right, it's no secret, looking at our own fathers, right, that it's been out of balance, right, and it takes so much strength and power and control and dedication, I think, to harness what it would be to be a healthy masculine. But I think there's some elements that we can look at about ourselves and some framework and truths that we can look at inside of ourselves as healers, as bringers of consciousness. I think most of you on this channel identify as a healer or someone who is working on ascending and bringing consciousness to the earth in the best way that you can, in the way that you can, in your own beautiful energy and ways that you know how to do it, and all of the unique gifts that you have access to very uniquely, individually, as yourself. So one of the things I think we can do is we can look at how our father figures have impacted our lives, and look at some of the challenges there, and work on trying not to blame, right? Trying to see where the hurt is, to get unstuck from that hurt, right? So trying to look at how has that quote unquote negative, distorted version of father energy impacted our lives, my life, and how can I release the pain that it's caused? Because it's so hard to appreciate that not everyone is all bad, right? When we look at even an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend, or you look even at your own father or grandfather, or whatever father figures impacted you, when you look at them, they're not all bad all the time, right? No one's all bad all the time usually, right? Unless, God knows, I mean, everything's out there, so I'm sure there's cases, but most people are a mix. But it's really hard to forgive and overcome the pain that those figures cause in our own life without feeling it, acknowledging it, and then releasing it. And I'm a huge fan of EFT tapping. It's called emotional freedom technique, and it's tapping in different pressure points on your body to release negative stored emotion and feelings and energies that are not serving you. So that technique is super helpful. And there's a guy named Brad Yates. I'll list his website right here. And he's got like hundreds and hundreds of videos on almost every scenario of where you could be blocked. And he has one on father hurts. He's got one on mother hurts. But he's really level-headed and like very pragmatic, but very effective at helping people release energy that no longer serves them, and that's keeping them blocked from being the highest balanced version of themselves. And so it's important to be able to look at the pain that your own father has caused you, or your principal, or someone in the church, or someone in the religion, that has made you feel less than you actually are, or has treated you in a way that hurt you and that made you feel unimportant, or whatever flavor of pain it came with it. Even abused you or hurt you or neglected you, right? We're all sort of dealing with abandonment issues because a lot of the fathers weren't physically there, right? They just took off. And so we feel like, oh my God, we suck or something. Like, we must be worthless, right? If this father energy that's supposed to help provide structure and safety takes off. So a lot of us have abandonment issues and safety issues, right? And feeling safe on this planet because we all know the misuse of power, right? That's been happening through our planet for thousands and thousands upon thousands of years, right? And so another video on balancing the divine feminine, but I'm going to get to that. So the second thing that I'd ask you to look at on Father's Day or to consider when you're thinking about father energy is how can you father yourself? How can you provide that safety and structure and acceptance and love that a father would provide to yourself? And how can you parent yourself? And I say this the same about mothering. Like, your mom and dad aren't going to come and take care of you like they should have, right? They are already gone, right? You are already, most likely, if you're on the channel, an adult. And so how can you father yourself? How can you provide a balance of that positive masculine energy in your own life? And what does that mean, right? To father yourself. What does it mean to be there for you, to provide that piece of the puzzle that you need to feel like a balanced human being? So the way that I can give you an example in my own life is that I have a tendency to go either one way or the other. I'm like super in my feminine or super in my masculine. And I mean, women can be super in their masculine, right? Like, I had a very corporate career, like climbing the corporate ladder, using male energy force, really, right? To get things done, even in manifesting. Like, you can use force to get stuff done, right? Just sheer force. Or an alternative to that is, using magnetism, right? The feminine energy of the moon and magnetism. And so it's not either one or, it can be one or the other. But what we're trying to shoot for, I think, to heal the planet and be a healing force is to find that balance within and to harmonize it and allow the masculine and feminine energy to live within yourself. And when I'm really listening to the universe, right, I am guided. So an example for me is having this business where I am teaching and providing a lot of energetic readings and a lot of magnetism and female energy to listen to my intuition and convey thoughts, ideas, energy to you and impart that to you for healing. And then I also have a corporate side of myself where I'm in the business world and growing my leadership skills in an organization that's global and where my thoughts matter and where I have to be very masculine and articulate, also bringing that feminine energy in. And people are very confused. Like, what is this? Because usually women are just equally as forceful as a man, with maybe not bringing in that feminine energy. So that's interesting. So I'm working on that. And this is a work in progress, right? Like, it's a work in progress to find that balance within. The third thing that I would just ask you to consider on the father energy in your own life is, like, how can you also change, right? Like, how can you, it's one thing to father and mother yourself, definitely, that's a thing, that's a changing thing, that's more of a harmonizing, balancing thing, because it exists within you naturally. These energies are part of the earth, they're part of the sun. The sun is a more father masculine energy, and the moon and the earth, they're feminine, right? It's a feminine energy. And a lot of that is distorted as well. I feel like the earth is really coming into balance, right? We're more aware, more that we can feel. The third thing is to make some concrete changes, make some decisions about how you want to heal. It's all about healing all three of these, right? But the third aspect, I feel like, is to be very dedicated or committed to some kind of awareness, some kind of change. And I think that we can see some of this in pop culture. And I wanted to share that there's a movie out called the Elements. It's called Elements, and it's a Pixar production, and it's like so good, you guys. It's the protagonist and the lead masculine character is water. The lead feminine is fire. And the lead masculine water character cries, like he cries. And there's even a part of the movie where crying saves him. And I thought, wow, I mean, it's like a natural part of, he is the element of water. He's like crying and emotional, and all of the water people are crying and emotional. And it's just, I think it's a cool representation to show the masculine that way, because how can we feel, right? How can we make a concrete decision to, when we feel tough, even if we feel defeated, how can we choose to feel? How can we get beyond our anger? How can we get beyond the control? And just like that masculine energy wanting to just rage, right? Of just like, no, right? And just wanting to be angry, like instead of committing to anger, how can we commit to feeling our feelings? There's an incredible lesson in that movie, and there's tons, but another one is he says, the water character, the male energy and the love interest says, he says to fire, the female, he says, I tend to find that I get angry when there's something that I know about myself that I won't let myself see. That there's something about me that I am not willing to look at, or that I'm blocking, or I'm not willing to see. And he says it more succinct because the writers are incredible. But that was the gist of it. And then it's her taking that advice and learning why she's so angry all the time. And so this is just a call today to take a look at father energy. I'm certain any work you do in this area will help. It'll help the planet, because we are all converting the energy of humanity right from within ourselves at the core. We are the light, the path, and the way. We are that consciousness. And thank you for letting me share this with you today. And thank you for your own journey. And all of those folks that have been hurt by father energy, I think, I'll say a prayer, or any parental energy, but a lot of those mommies out there have had to have been men because dads weren't there. They were literally, they left, right? And so we were all dealing with those abandonment issues. And even if they were physically present, they were not there, right? they were not home. Nobody was home a lot of times, right? So the lights were on, but no one was home. So let me say a quick prayer. So mom had to do so much, right? So she's also, has some of that distorted masculine in her as well. So let's say that prayer. So we just thank you, Spirit, for everyone here on this channel. And we just thank you for fathers. We thank you for all the fathers out there in the world, in the universe. And we just ask that you bless us in a way today like never before, that we're able to experience a healthier version of what it means to be masculine, and how we can balance that within ourselves and be aware of it and make concrete changes to do things differently in the future, and to be aware of our own selves, to be aware of acceptance and love and feelings, rather than aggression, control, domination, right? We wanted to learn how to feel and see, be more empathetic and intuitive and magnetic, even within that male energy. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for being here. Offering you so much love and light. Take care, guys.